So, here's a mistake I see all the time in OET writing, especially from doctors who are trying to move from a safe pass towards 400 or above, as some of my students do. The candidate includes the right information, they've got all the facts, etc., but something still feels wrong. So, what we're going to talk about today is a particular issue with a particular set of case notes which I have here. Now, the thing that perplexed my student was how to present known information. Hello, hello, it's Kevin here, back after a few weeks away. Time for video in our 400 plus series. So, in this one, and this is based on a couple of my current students in italki, I have 2 or 3 students now who need to get 400 plus. So they already have a solid grade B 350 plus pass, but for various reasons they need 400. So in this episode, well, it's kind of an episode. In this episode, we're going to talk about a particular thing. So in these case notes, for example, so this is a discharge, right? I'll slowly go through it. Okay, discharged. Okay, you can pause it, read the notes for yourself. Okay, pause. Okay, so we're writing a discharge to the GP. Now, because it's a discharge, a lot of the previous medical information will be known to the GP. So the question is how to phrase it in a 400 plus manner or style to make sure that we discharge to the GP without seeming to present the new information or the information as new or unknown to the GP, because that would certainly affect your content score, your conciseness and clarity score. Certainly would. Okay, so let's have a look. As I said, here's a mistake I see all the time. They're presenting known information as if it's new information. As I said, in a discharge or an update, that matters. The GP may already know the diagnosis for smoking, history, previous symptoms. Okay, what the information gap, they don't know what happened in hospital, what's changed, and what they need to do now. So, as I said here, you're the registrar, she's being discharged, you write to a GP. So the important point is, he knows. So that's the trap, OET trap, don't get caught. Okay, so a weaker version might say something like, Mrs Ellis is a 65-year-old woman with COPD. Okay, well, yeah, but that information's not wrong, but it sounds like you're simply copying the case notes. It sounds like the GP is learning this for the first time. So what we have to do instead, we have to think, right, what's the information gap? What's new? And what does the reader need after discharge? Okay, you're not writing a summary of the case notes, you're handing care back to a specific reader. So language for shared background, language for new information, language for readers' ongoing role. So this is what we can do. Some phrases, as you outlined, right? So this is going to signal the shared knowledge and context, yeah? So instead of it sounding like you're telling the GP what he or she knows, as you outlined, Mrs. Ellis, blah, 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 following your urgent referral, Mrs. Ellis, blah, 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 in view of the known history of COPD, given her established background of COPD, against this background. So these phrases, as you can see, if you use these, it's not presenting it as, by the way, doc, here's something that you don't know, because she is saying, well, actually, yeah, I do kind of know it. So you can use these, okay? So you could sort of write, right? She had a cough, da 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 da. As you outlined in your referral, was admitted, right? So that phrase tells the reader, I know. I'm using it to connect your referral to our hospital findings. Another useful phrase, following your urgent referral, Mrs Ellis was admitted, blah, 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 blah. Yeah? So it's not repeating the GP's own time, it compresses the story. Okay, language for new hospital information. Now, this is what the GP does not know. I don't know this. You're telling me this is new. During admission, CT chest, it demonstrated a right upper lobe mass. Histology is pending. With biopsy was performed, so we can see we've got some good use of both active and passive there. Okay. This is the kind of information the GP needs. It's new, clinically relevant, and directly connected to the reason for admission. Advocate status. Clinically, she remained stable, but it says that answers the question, is she safe to be discharged? So if we look at COPD now, a weaker sentence simply states the facts as if it's fresh. In view of her known COPD and long-standing smoking history, we reviewed an inhaler technique, reinforced, etc. Now, this is stronger because the known history now explains the management. It's not simply saying, here is her background. It's saying, because of what we both know, this is what we did and what now needs to continue. Yeah? In view of her known X, we did Y. Given his established history of X, he will require Y. Against this background, please monitor Y. Okay, so here's a few examples. Let me try and get this correct on the screen. Here we go. So you can see, yeah, she has, in view of her known, she smokes 20, given her long-standing smoking history, she had a cough, as you outlined, she was referred, she lives alone, please monitor her mood. So you can see the social detail is linked to the follow-up. So it's not simply a statement of fact with no connection. Yeah. So that's pretty good. Now, the final part. All right. Making the GP's role, make it clear. So until then, please monitor her respiratory symptoms, mood and progress, particularly as she lives alone and may find the diagnostic uncertainty distressing. So you see here, right, it says this is a 400 plus type of sentence because it links social background to the clinical follow-up. Yeah, so you can see that's how it works. It's pretty good. Let's see if I can scroll down a little bit more. Now we've got some extracts. Let me just pause this. Okay, so we can see I'm writing to update you on Mrs Ellis following her admission under our respiratory team after your urgent referral. Okay, as you outlined, she had also reported, okay, in view of her known COPD, long-standing smoking history. Yeah, until then, please monitor her respiratory symptoms. Okay, so you can pause this and read the whole thing. Okay, so that's not bad, yeah. Note the key phrases as you outlined during admission, review of her known. So they're not decoration, they show the examiner that the writer understands the communication situation. Yeah, so candidates, common mistake, they think it means including all medical information, but in OET, as it says, relevant to whom, now and for what. They don't need the full lesson, they need an update. Okay, so don't write like a summary, write like a clinician handing over care. Okay, so before you write any sentence, ask yourself, does the reader already know this? If yes, use shared background phrases. As you are aware, as you outline, following your referral, in view of a known history, given his established diagnosis. If no, use updates. Investigation showed he remains stable. Yeah, if you need to do something, use action phrases. Please monitor, please continue, please arrange. So, there you go. I hope that sort of helps. You know, it's reader aware clinical handover. That's what 400 plus looks like. Okay, so what you need to ask, have I framed the facts for this reader? If the answer is yes, then 400 plus shall be yours. Okay, hope that helped. If you need anything, feel free to contact me. Go to theenglishnative.com, all my links are there, and check out my Spotify for OET speaking. So, see you next time.